Okay, and so nobody is muted, so I thought we'd just, it's kind of neat that a lot of you know each other, but not everybody. So go around, I'll call on you since everybody's screen probably looks different. And if you could just introduce yourself and say who your child is, that will be great. We can get to know each other a little better. We'll start with Jen.
I'm Jen Jonko. My son is incoming for Tuesday, Thursday. His name is Weston. And I'm a what?
We'll just gotcha.
Well, anyways, I'm returning. And yes, my son Will was a former Happy Timer. So we're back.
I will. Okay, Cindy.
My son, his name is Santiago, and we as well too are former Happy Time for our older sister.
And Bree.
I've got Shelby. We are returning as well. We had Avery a couple of years ago.
And Amy. Okay. Amy disappeared. Megan.
I'm Megan, and I have Preston is going to be in the class. So this is going to be our 5th year at Happy Time. So I have 2 kids that have gone through. So we're back.
Cool.
Round 3.
So. Aaliyah.
My name's Aaliyah, and my daughter's name is Aura. And this is our 2nd round at Happy Time. My daughter Luna just graduated Monday, Wednesday, Friday last year.
Okay. Melissa.
I'm Melissa, and I have Jordan, and she will be, let's see, so she'll be the youngest in the class. She'll be 2 and a half, and it is my 3rd round at Happy Time. So I had I had Jonah and Jules, and they're all, Happy Time graduates. So we're back too.
Heidi.
I'm Heidi, and my daughter is Mia, and she'll be doing the Tuesday, Thursday class, and my son Cameron graduated last year.
And Becca.
Hi, I'm Becca. We're returning to, my son Gary graduated last year, and this year we have Jameson.
Just rolling right along. Hi, Christina. Would you like to introduce yourself and say who your child in this class is?
Hi, this is Christina. Mateo is going to be in the Tuesday, Thursday class again. He's repeating, but he's just of age, that's all. And I had a daughter, Mia, who technically graduated last year, but coming back again for Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Great. And I think we lost Amy somehow. I don't know what happened.
Maybe her phone died or something. Maybe something died.
Oh, she's back.
Oh.
We'll wait for her and let her. Hi, Amy. Are you there, Amy? You hear?
Yeah.
Okay.
It froze.
Yeah, you were just hanging out. Would you like to... So I'm Nita. It's really nice to meet you. I look forward to seeing you when you come to visit soon. If you'd like to introduce yourself to everyone else and say who your child is.
Hi, I'm Amy, and I have Graham, and he's my youngest. I have a 9-year-old and 6-year-old girls as well.
Great. All right. Well, I'm glad you're all here. Everybody is here, like I said, except for Janelle, whose son Luke will be in this class, and her older son is in the Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. So she has 2 children in the school too. So, but she's at work tonight. As you can probably tell by looking at how many people there are, we have lost some families. Some just have concerns about the virus, and others have reasons like pregnancy. We have somebody going through cancer treatment, and we have some frontline workers that are actually working with COVID patients who feel that they might be
Teo, come home now.
themselves and don't want to accidentally expose us. So all very conscientious, great people that we hope at some point in time will be joining us when we climb out of this rabbit hole that we're in. So, but thank you guys for being here. We're a much smaller group than normal in both classes, and that's going to be a challenge for our board here, because financially that's kind of like something to overcome.
I thought, can we just remind Christina that we can hear her?
All right.
I can hear everything Christina's saying.
That's making it hard.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. You're muted now, Christina.
To help you guys with your kids, I'll just mute you, and then if you want to speak, you can just unmute.
Raise your hand.
Yeah, raise your hand. I'm also going to open up the chat column, so if you wanted to ask a question, I'll try and keep an eye on it so that I can answer you. So that way, yeah, we can just keep going. So, so yeah, the board's facing kind of a financial challenge this year, but we're up for it. So I did want to say that in the class we have 3 board members. So Megan forgot to say she's our board president. Jen is our treasurer. And then Melissa is our class representative. She does the scheduling of volunteers and also the snack menu and the snack sign up too. So you'll be hearing from all of those people. What I wanted to do tonight was, first of all, have everybody say hi and just check in. And then I wanted to just get together so that I can go over in a little more detail than the email that you all got, because that really is just a copy of the plan that we have to submit to both licensing, and you have to have that done in order to kind of, as if we were a business reopening in the county. So that was kind of not the way I would have worded things to talk to all of you. So I wanted to just go into a little bit more detail. Please ask questions. You can either just put them in the chat if you don't want to interrupt, or you can wave and you can get unmuted. So, so you've seen the plan, right? Everybody saw that. And then also I emailed pictures of how we've rearranged the school. And so those of you that were at school before will kind of really notice that big difference. But we've rearranged furniture, removed certain materials, and rearranged outside in order to comply with one of the protocols, which is social distancing. And so basically what happens in school is what is really happening everywhere. The adults will be wearing masks. We don't know yet if they're going to make it an absolute for kids. Everybody cross your fingers and hope that that does not happen. We're hoping that they don't have to wear masks. But the adults will be, so there's the wearing masks, washing hands. We're going to be washing our hands all the time, singing the hand washing song as kids move from place to place. If they've been outside and coming in, if they're going outside, before and after snack, and of course before and after the bathroom also. So mask wearing, hand washing, social distancing as much as we can with the kids. The fact that hi Cameron, buddy. Hi. The fact that we have lost some members is super sad in one way, but also it's going to make it that there is so much space for the kids to spread out in that social distancing will be a lot easier to manage. We're not going to be, measuring and making kids move back and things like that. That's why we've rearranged the classroom so that it's pretty self-explanatory. And the way that you arrange a preschool classroom and a preschool space is so that it becomes part of the curriculum. It's inviting, it shows children what they are to do in that space, and it makes it a lot easier to manage what's going on in that space. And that's why those of you that have been with us before know that This is the Play-Doh table. This is where the trains are. This is where the bikes go. So everything has a place, and that's part of helping kids learn where to go and what to do. So all of that will be the same, except that around our tables, if you noticed in the pictures, there's 2 chairs instead of 6 chairs. So there won't be a whole group of children playing with Play-Doh. It'll be a couple. And we, the volunteers especially, will be a big part of managing not only the space, but also the materials and also helping the kids. I want to assure everybody that, and you'll see, I know that Brianna and Cindy have already come on their visit, so everything looks good, right guys? You think your kids had fun? Yeah. Santiago didn't want to leave today, so that shows you that the place is inviting and also applicable, you know, it's for them. So we'll be managing that space in a gentle way. There's plenty to do. We have a large space inside and a large space outside. We're, no matter what, we're always telling children, you can play with that in a few minutes when they're done, or we're helping them find something to do. That will be the same. They will not notice that they can't join a table because there isn't a chair there. There won't be any materials there. But there is enough materials that because what we're asked to do is when a child is done playing with something, we'll be kind of removing it to a tub that's going to be up on our higher shelves, and we'll be replacing it. So no matter what, there shouldn't be a time when a child excuse me, can't find anything to do. And we, the volunteers and myself, are the ones that will be kind of floating in and moving things around, and at the same time really helping the kids to have a good time. Some things that are missing from the classroom and outside, the large sensory sand table and the large water table are put away. That would be difficult to manage because they're meant to be a large group activity. So instead we'll have water play that is a little bit more for 1 or 2 children. Sensory things will be bringing out again in individual trays for them to play with, so they're not going to miss out on all that stuff. It's just going to be presented differently, and they are not going to know that it's different. We'll be the ones, especially those who have been to Happy Time before, who will know that it's different. But we don't need to be sad about it because the kids won't know. This will be their normal. They're going to have a good time. There's plenty to do, and you know, we are the ones that are going to make it into a great experience for them. We removed the wind tunnel and the ball ramp because everything has to be, I don't know if it's a word, sanitizable. And while you can sanitize the wind tunnel, you can't really sanitize feathers and bits of paper and the things that they put up there. And then the ball ramps, that would be very time consuming to disinfect that every day. But again, it won't be there, so they won't say, where's it gone? And you know, it'll be so awesome, you know, partway through the year to be able to get those things out when we see how things come together and how it all works. So the space and their time within school is going to be really pretty normal for them. Kids know now about the coronavirus. They have their own masks. They're used to seeing adults in masks. Hopefully they know about, you know, hand washing. I was telling Cindy today, at home, it's really important to teach your child. They probably already know, but something that we'll be really trying to jump on more than we normally would is their elbow to cough or sneeze. And we'll need to model that too, even though we have a mask on. So that's something that if we can get them doing that, then we won't have to drag them off to wash their hands if they sneezed all over themselves. So things, those kinds of things to prepare them at home will really help us out when those of us that are working in the day. So that's during the day, everything will roll along. We will have snack, hopefully a lot of times outside. We will be outside a lot. That's one of the recommendations. We're not going to force a child that maybe wants to go in and color or play with the trains or the manipulatives. Obviously they'll be able to do that, but we're really encouraging a lot of outside play. And luckily our fall is a really nice time to be outside. So if we can do snack outside, that's one of the recommendations, because that's where they do have to sit closer together, and they will really not be sitting for very long, especially in this class. Usually in the 3-year-old class, it's all we can do to get them to sit down and eat. Snack's going to be very simple, kind of like not our Happy Time normal hefty snack, more like crackers, a string cheese, a piece of fruit. We will be serving water, and so when you're providing snack, you don't have to provide juice or milk. And what you need to bring is unopened containers of crackers and yogurt, cheese, whatever it is that we're doing, and the fresh fruit, because the one person is in charge of snack from preparing it to serving it. So it's going to be more like, as opposed to the community snack where the food's on the table, they'll get a plate. It'll be like waitress service, basically, but only with one person. So that's kind of how that will go. So if we can eat snack outside, when we do summer camp, one of the tricks about eating outside is the first person to be done wants to go. So we'll kind of see how that goes, because it's important for them to get that snack, especially to get some water in the middle of their day. But I do want to say, because I know sometimes breakfast is an issue, so really, you know, a good breakfast, even if they have to eat, you know, a bar or something in the car, and then maybe have something in the car for them when you pick them up, because those that don't want to sit and eat, it's not as substantial a snack as we normally have. And we'll see how that goes. We'll see. Again, all of this is changeable as time goes on. We won't really change anything until we see that it's, first of all, that it's okay to change something, and also that we're kind of managing and coping with what it is that we want to change. So, so our day, I think, is going to be great. We're going to have fun, and they will have fun, and everybody will have clean hands and clean noses. That will be great. What's really different is arrival, and you probably read how that's going to go, and that is stipulated. It's not anything that I can waffle on at all, not that I would. So what you're going to get, and at yesterday's meeting, I said I would be mailing these out, but you guys are going to be coming to visit, so you'll get your COVID policies and procedures, which will go with the handbook, the regular handbook. We decided not to change anything in our handbook really to include this, so this will just be an addendum. But one of the first page gives you your morning health check that you need to do at home with your child. And that, again, that's a requirement. That's not something that's negotiable at all. And so make it fun, make it silly, include them, just do, what have you got on, Cameron? Your bike helmet?
Because I got a new bike.
Oh, you got a new bike. Wow.
That goes way faster than my auto.
Oh my goodness. That is so exciting. That's cool. Yeah. He thinks it's show and tell with the old class.
I know, right? It's the same.
So you'll take their temperature. It needs to be below 100.4. If you are volunteering or subbing that day, if you're down as a sub, even if you haven't been called, you do the same thing for yourself. So not if you're just bringing your child, but if you're working in the classroom, you take your temperature, you assess your child for these symptoms. And I'm just really counting on families to be honest about this. Happy Time is generally very good about sick children staying home anyway, because we're not kind of in the daycare business where they're there all day long. all of you have, I know, secondary care for them. So, but the symptoms that we look for, that you will look for first, and it will be followed up at school, are the run-of-the-mill symptoms for if they're sick, because sick children must stay home, and that's a must, not a should. Runny nose, headache, sore throat, cough, difficulty breathing, unusual fatigue. I know that's often the first sign of them getting sick is, you know, you wonder what's wrong with them, and then the next day you know. Body aches, diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Children exhibiting a fever or any of the above symptoms must be kept at home. And further in your book, it tells you, and this is really standard health department procedure, it's always been this way about when they can come back to school. At school, I'll be asking you some questions related to your exposure to COVID. We have those right here, but you don't have to do this at home, but I'll be asking, two different questions about COVID. So, and what it says here, you can, if your child is sick with just a, you know, cold or a cough or stomach bug, which you don't like, they can come back if they're symptom and fever-free for 24 to 72 hours with no medication. And I'm pretty sure that information is in your packet here. So then when all's good, you can do the little happy dance and they can get ready and come to school. And then I will meet you at the gate. And that's where you'll sign in. You won't be coming into school. You'll come in the gate. I will again take the child's temperature. And Brianna, I am going to remember to tell you what kind of thermometer I got. You would ask me that. I keep forgetting. And I will again say, do you have a runny nose? Does your head hurt? And all of those things. And while I'm doing that, your job is to sign them in, because those of you that have known me before know what a big deal the sign in and sign out thing is. It's like the thing licensing looks at first, and I just have a feeling like I, at least in the beginning, going to be so focused on doing this health check, because I do have to check it off on a clipboard. So your job is to remember to sign in. Do not forget or sign out. And then once they're signed in and we've done the health check, off they go to play. The volunteers will be ready to ask them what they want to do and where they want to go, and parents will just celebrate and get in their car and drive away. It's going to be different, and it's certainly not the happy time norm, but I'm willing to do anything to keep us safe. I am, you know, one of those elderly people that certainly don't want to get this. I never knew I was elderly until this happened. So then you'll go home, you'll have a wonderful morning, hopefully. And when you come back to pick them up at noon, I will go outside to the gate at noon. What we're going to try to do is by noon have the children outside with all of their belongings, so that you'll come in, sign them out, again, taking turns. So it'll be one family at a time. And then just as smoothly as you can, just kind of get them out of there. Again, that's not what we usually do. You usually come in, they play for 10 more minutes, and then you might help or pitch in, but we really want you just to sign out and leave. The idea is to have as few people on campus interacting as possible. You know, obviously the kids will be there and I will be there and the volunteers will be there, but apart from that, the fewer the people, the better. So that we're asking that as much as you can, please don't send anything from home for your child. Obviously a sweater is fine, but you know, often kids will want to bring toys, loveys, things like that, little animals. And because everything that might be out in the classroom has to be sanitized, cleaned on a regular basis. And of course we can't do that for those kinds of things. So as much as you can, if your child is really attached to something and they want to bring it to the gate, you can have them kiss it goodbye at the gate, and then if you can bring it back when you come back, so that it's whatever it is, if it's a blankie or if it's a little stuffed animal is waiting at the gate, hopefully that will work. We will see how that goes. If certainly I'm not going to have somebody devastated because they can't have their special lovey with them, but and we'll figure that out, a way to put it in a bag and put it in their cubby. But the less that we have to manage that's coming from outside, the better. So the materials and toys, I'm kind of just going through this little book here for you guys. I think I mentioned at pickup and drop off, you have to wear a mask. So all the adults will have masks. The volunteers are going to have to do a mandatory training. We usually have a volunteer meeting, but we usually do it in September. This is one of the county requirements for opening is that your employees, which is, we're a parent co-op, so it's the volunteers, have to go through a mandatory training that includes all of your protocols, health protocols, for when they're working. So I will be getting in touch with all the volunteers to schedule that. We are probably going to do it by Zoom sometime in August, maybe. I know we have somebody in the other class that's on the board that's going to be gone for a week in August, so I'm going to try to make sure that she can be at that. So be prepared if you're volunteering that is mandatory. So when I might put out a couple of dates and times, be sure to kind of make sure that you're available for that, because that's something that I do have to have a record of. It'll be things like, how to use a spray bottle, right? No, I'm just teasing. I have so many pieces of paper that we will know everything there is to know about cleaning and sanitizing and washing hands. We'll practice the songs, we'll have a good time. So that I just want to make sure that everybody is aware of that. We always have an orientation meeting before the school year starts, and that will happen, but it won't be everyone coming at once. Even though our numbers are down, we still don't want to have the whole everybody in all at once. And so we'll figure out a date, and it'll be outside, and you'll be like with the visits, you'll be able to sign up for a time. And I think, we'll figure that out at the board meeting, the beginning of August. It'll be, towards the end of August. I know if you've been before, you know about the orientation meeting. We'll have different stations set up, and hi, Luna. And Amy, at the orientation meeting, that's when you'll get the handbook, the big handbook kind of thing. Everyone gets a t-shirt for their child. You meet with the class rep about the roster and scheduling and all of that. There's a contract to sign. What else is there at orientation? And we usually go over the schedule and all the things that I've really just kind of told you about now. So you've gotten a lot of that. So basically, I know you sign up for your monthly school helper job if you haven't already. I know, I think Becca and Heidi and Aaliyah all have one because they were here last year. So you sign for school helper job and just answer questions. It is an adult time only. We won't be able to supervise children, but it really, when we have those at school for the whole group, they last like 2 hours. So that's one thing you can say, yay, coronavirus, because I imagine you'll be in and out of there in like half an hour at the most. But so that'll be happening towards the end of August. Does the 5-minute rule apply for drop-off? The 5-minute rule of how long we're hanging out? Cindy, go ahead and unmute so you can ask that. I'm not sure what 5-minute rule is.
I just know in the past we're allowed to drop them off, I think, as early as 5 minutes before 9 o'clock.
Yes, yes. Oh, thank you. Sorry. I'm not, wasn't, what 5-minute rule? Actually, because we do have this check-in procedure, we're gonna kind of back that up to 8:50 to start checking people in, because we don't really know how long it's going to take, and because you have to come in one family at a time, so it's more like a 10-minute spend now. But basically at noon, I probably, well, we'll see how it goes. We don't know till we do this. My plan was just to be at the gate at noon, and if you're already there and your child's ready to go, we'll do that. But so when you're waiting either for dropping them off or picking up, you can wait in your car if you like till you see there's a spot, or you know, not having a parking lot is kind of tough for that. But or you can stay in your car, or if you want to get out and kind of line up. I'm not going to put the little 6-foot things on the sidewalk because it's not my sidewalk, but just obviously as a family, just social distance from each other, and that way you can chat to people just from a little distance. We won't know till we start how much time this takes. It'll probably take more time in the beginning, but we'll do our best to really, I don't want to make it frantic because that's not really good for kids, but on the other hand, I want it to be efficient and in and out as much as we can. If someone has a positive COVID test that is at the school, the school goes into the 14-day quarantine. If you know somebody that has tested positive, I have all that written down. It may be in this book. Let me just look really quick because that's important, and I know we're covering it with the volunteers. I will find that for sure information and make sure that you all get that, because it should be in here and I'm not quite seeing it. I think that's one of the things that we were going back and forth with when we met. The directors group that I'm in met with the county health department and licensing, was the specifics of, if you know somebody that's tested positive, if you've tested, you know, so there's different levels of what you do. But I feel like it's a class quarantine. So schools that have different classes and different classrooms would just close that class. Let's just make it not happen. Okay, make it easy on me, make it not happen. But yeah, I apologize that that's not in here, but it may be, I was working on this before we heard anything from health, but I have it somewhere and I'll make sure I get that added in for you guys. So that's a good question, because there is definitely protocol for what happens when. Okay, I think so. Volunteer training, orientation. It would be helpful for me to know what your family is calling this. I know my son's daughters call it the sickness. That's, you know, way back when we first encountered this, that's how he explained it to them. So it would be good. It's like, you know, when you fill out one of those forms and it asks you what your child calls poop, that's really helpful when we take them to the bathroom. So it'll be kind of helpful too if we know kind of how your family's referring to it. And if there's anything I need to know about, you know, how they feel about it, respond to it. I think it's really, it's been going on so long now that even little kids are pretty familiar with what they need to do. So yeah, just let me know. Heidi, no, both classes are quite empty. We have lost families from the Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, lost families from this class, not surprising. And we are really excited to have you guys with us, and those that, and you know, I just want to reassure you that we are doing everything that is required, and what is required is really pretty complete. I can't think of anything that is in my list of stipulations that I would do. Couldn't add anything to it. And so I feel like when you come in that gate, you're going to be in a little safe, sanitized little bubble. So, you know, your own bubble is expanding to include Happy Time as a bubble. And, you know, I think I said on the other side of the gate, your job is to keep your bubble safe, so that that's all we're doing, is just sharing kind of bubble to bubble, or that you're not going off and going to a big barbecue or a wedding, or, you know, so just that's kind of what we're counting on. And I know Happy Time families are super responsible, conscientious. I don't have any qualms. And, you know, being that I am, like I said, in that vulnerable population, I really feel good about the policies and procedures that will be in place. Unless your kids don't learn how to do that, and then I don't know, that might be a reason for expulsion. But I feel really good about it, and so I think nothing is 100% safe ever anywhere, but it's the best that it can be. And I know the people that have visited so far, and the people that I've talked to in our meeting last night, said kids are excited to get back to something. Kids are excited to see other kids, to have a place to go. And we're just going to do our part to really enrich what's going on in their lives right now, because it's not really a great place. And so we're going to make it just a little better than it can be for them. So hopefully, like I said, a lot of the people that pulled out have really good, kind reasons for doing that. Some pulled out a little earlier, and that's fine. Everyone does what they feel is right for their family. So all I can do is reassure you that we are doing everything that is possible to keep that nasty germ away from us. So yes, we have openings. If anybody knows anyone that is looking to have a place to go and play, I think people will come back, but you know, we don't know, is January going to be any better than it is now? Is it going to be a whole year? Is it going to be March to March? We don't know. And so that's the job of the board, is to figure out how to keep us going, because also we won't be able to have our fall fundraiser. The fall festival won't happen, I'm pretty sure. So that's another big loss financially too, that big fundraiser. But, yeah. So does anyone have any questions? I'm going to make a note about what to do. What happens? Okay. So I can unmute everybody if you want to be unmuted. If you have a question, if you want to say anything. Amy, we're excited to have you come. I see that you know some people, so that's really great.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I think it'll be fun.
It will.
I had a question actually, which was about the volunteering. Do we have an estimate of like how much will be required based on how many volunteers we have at the moment?
Basically, the requirement for volunteering is based on the discount that you get, and it's 3 days per month.
Okay.
We have a lot of volunteers. You guys are awesome. And so we will see how that plays out, but it's generally 3 times a month.
Okay.
And Melissa and the other class rep and I are going to meet, and we'll kind of go over all those things. And then Melissa will be in touch with all of the volunteers. And the way it works is you pick your days. She will be sending out a calendar each month, or a couple of weeks before the beginning of the month, and you'll just pick what days you want to work. We ask everybody to sign up for a sub day too, so that if somebody does call in sick with either them or their child, we have somebody that we can call on. Does that answer your question okay?
Yeah, so essentially you would kind of come to class with your child 3 times. Is that how it works?
Yes, you come early. You come at 8:30, and of course bring your child. Yeah, and then you stay a little bit after to do some of the cleaning, and then.
Okay.
Yeah, and that the volunteer training will go into a lot more detail about what your role will be. It's going to be a little bit different even than it's been in the past. So it's something that everybody will participate in and get all that information. And also we try to be really flexible. So any issues with scheduling, volunteering, we're here to help everybody work that out. We want everybody to come and be excited to be there and not have it be, I had to fit this in kind of thing. So it's very flexible, and we do have a good amount of volunteers in this class, so I think it'll be good. Anybody, anything else? Well, it's great to see you guys, and I'll see you when you come visit if you haven't visited already. I look forward to meeting Graham. That's going to be exciting. And we've got a great class. A lot of you, I mean, the fact that, Amy is here with all these pros, is going to make it great.
It's fun. I know everybody in here, so it's so fun to
I know.
have a class where I
Doesn't
know
it make you
everybody.
feel good? It's like, I've done 3 visits so far with families, and it's just where I need to be. So it's really been great to see the kids come and just explore and have a good time. Not to mention all the alumni.
Nita, I have to say.
Hi, Parker. Hi, buddy.
He's outside. Wishing he could come in.
Hey, Nita.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I am super grateful to you. That was the most generous use of your time. That hour that we spent with you,
thank you,
was such a highlight. And I know that was, just being there and watching them be on campus. It was such a joy, and it was so selfless of you to let us do that. I was very, very grateful.
It's important. Well, it was, usually we have a play day and everybody comes, but I feel like it's really important for the kids to see me, who is this person, see me and then see the place, so that, like we said, that they know it's a place that they're going to have fun in. I don't think it would be beneficial to them, and even to me as being the teacher, to have them show up on September 1st never having been there. They've all been there, well, except for Graham, been there as babies, but they don't remember. Right?
Yeah.
Thank you, though.
The baby crew
nice of you
coming
to
back.
say that. Thank you. It lifted me too. I tell you, it was a highlight for me.
Do the siblings come to the play date?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Because you're all on your own. You got the place to yourself.
Awesome.
And it's outside play mostly, but inside is set up so that they can see what's there.
Okay.
So yeah, Cameron can come.
Oh, looking forward to it on Thursday.
All the kids will be so excited.
Yes.
All right, that's going to be great. I will let you guys go. I'm sure there's bedtimes and things to do. And thank you so much for giving your time tonight. And I'll see you guys when you do your visits. And
thank you.
We'll get everything rolling. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Nita.
Bye.
You all
Teacher
too.
Nita,
Yes.
is there room in the Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Yes.
Ooh.
There. Okay, I'll email you.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good.
Fun.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
You know how to get a hold of
Bye.
me if you need me. So bye.
See ya.